Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of More Yourself, which is on the ADHD Women's Wellbeing feed. This is part of a new sub-avenue that I am taking with ADHD Women's Wellbeing, where I want to start speaking to the next stage of our ADHD awareness and diagnosis, or this sort of embodiment of our neurodivergence. It feels very aligned now that I've been working this space for quite a long time, and the podcast is, 3 years old. And it feels that now that we are talking about this a lot more and so many more women are understanding themselves from a neurodivergent perspective, that we start discussing how it feels while we are kind of going through that process of understanding who we are. And you might just be at the very beginning of your stage, and that's absolutely fine. This is for anyone who is recognizing a lifetime of masking. This is for anyone that has recognized that they have just not been their true authentic selves, or perhaps they're looking for more purpose, and start leaning into a version of themselves that they know is there, is beneath the surface, but needs help excavating, or needs maybe some coaching, some questions, some curiosity. And I really hope that these episodes are going to be those punctuation points in your week where you can just give yourself some space and time to self-reflect and perhaps do a bit of a perspective shift. And today I am going to bring that to you because I'm recording this at the beginning of September. I have come back from, summer, the kids have gone back to school, and we are bedding in to life, and autumn is here. It does feel like a new season. I'm speaking to you as I have a massive pile of books on my floor. So I'm kind of in this bit of a purging spirit where I'm getting rid of loads of plants, and it feels very much this shedding energy of autumn. You look outside and we should be mirroring nature. And I look outside and I see still a lot of greenery, still a lot of life, abundance on the trees with the apples and pears and fruit. But there's also a feeling of there's a lot of dead leaves being shedded. There's a lot of leaves on the ground. And I do feel that we're in this kind of in between stage of recognizing that a shedding is needed, but also, we're still in a bit of a feeling of, yeah, there's still more to give. There's still more that we can offer. So go back to the books. I've got a massive pile of books on my floor. And I have recognized this need where I just want to strip back. I want to stop filling my space and my brain with stuff and information and overload. And I really feel this call for more minimalism and simplification, and being able to really recognize what is important and get rid of the stuff that is no longer either serving me, that is not part of what I find purposeful anymore, or doesn't fulfill me anymore. And I invite you to do the same. I invite you just this moment to just have a little think about, like, what is being on your mind? Like, what have you been thinking about that just needs stripping back? What are you ready to let go of? What would you give away to charity or sell or donate or whatever, where you just kind of think, I just need that out? But also in your life, is it people? Is it boundaries? Is it at work? Is it your business? Are there parts of your business that are energy drainers? They're sapping you? Are there people where you keep noticing, but you keep pushing it away, and your natural tendency to people please is there, and you're not quite saying what you need and what you want? I think this comes from me being able to have a bit of time off over the summer. I've mentioned before that writing the book, the ADHD Women's Wellbeing Toolkit, really was a labor of love. It took a huge amount out of me because I wanted to give so much. And I'm really, really proud of the book. And your feedback and your comments have proved to me that it was really worth that temporary difficulty and pain and challenge. It was kind of, like with a pregnancy or anything like that, that hopefully something good is going to come from it, but you kind of have to swallow the pain and get your head down. And I'm so glad I did that. But with that, I also had to give away a lot of my time that perhaps would have been, spent to build my business or see people or do other things that fulfill me. And in life, we have to recognize that unless we want to live in this permanent state of overwhelm or burnout, we have to kind of like offset certain things for our energy protection. And I always talk about this burnout prevention, that we have to be in this sort of constant protection mode. And there are seasons in our life where we do have to strip back and keep our head down and know that we need to get through it. Again, using this analogy, after the book was sent, it was done, that was it. I knew I had a bit of time to breathe while my publishers did what they needed to do with it. And then I had this build up of the publishing date. And that was another bit of huge amount of energy that I had to siphon into that for the marketing, talking about it, going on different people's podcasts, social media, and being there to really give the book what it needs. But the point of all of this is having time off over this summer where I didn't take my laptop, where I really intentionally and purposefully decided I wasn't going to work apart from just clearing my emails and doing a bit of social media posting on my own terms, was that I work better as a human. I show up better as a mum. I feel more authentic in what I do in my business when I'm not overfilled. And I have to constantly straddle this recognition of what is being fulfilled and what is being overfilled, what is being productive and what is just too much productivity to the point where nothing is getting done. What is that straddle between what I find really meaningful that fills me up and what becomes too many things and it becomes meaningless? Like I'm not putting any kind of intention or deep, purpose or enjoyment into it because it's all, too much. It's taken all the enjoyment and the good energy and the creativity and all the stuff that I really enjoy. And so I'm learning really, really the hard way that to be more, to be more myself, to show up as the best version of me, I have to do less. And recognize that we have seasons in our life where we will be able to, we will have the energy or we will have the space, or we don't need to be tending to other people's needs as much, where we can kind of almost like pull that throttle down and go full speed ahead and do loads of stuff. But we also have to recognize where we need to make that space to pull back and to go inwards and recognize, what am I doing this for? So today, my invitation to you is to make more space so you can start integrating or calibrating maybe what you've learned over the summer, because the minute everything goes back full speed, and life does, and I'm sure my life will as well, but I am going to constantly keep asking myself, oh, how can I do less to be more? And one of the biggest things I struggle with, and I do believe that all our struggles and all our challenges come as lessons, and they hold that torch, that flashlight over what we struggle with so we can work on it. And there's no one in this world that doesn't go through struggles, and we may have different struggles at different times. And one of my big struggles is being present, slowing down, being more mindful. And I'm actively kind of working on this muscle as we speak. I did a mindfulness course over the summer, which I found really, really helpful because, again, it was just building that self-awareness, really noticing where I do struggle. So today, I am inviting you to do the same and go from more kind of fulfillment to less being overfilled, more meaningful, less meaningless, more being more doing less. And how do you do that? How are you going to do that? For me, it's 100% less phone time, putting my phone away when I can, getting outside more, connecting with people who I want to connect, and showing up how I want to show up in my business on this podcast, but also sharing what I want to share, sharing how I want to share in the capacity that I'd like to share. Now, I know I have a bit more of a privilege in my own business, and many other entrepreneurs might enjoy this, but there's also lots of other ties being an entrepreneur and having your own business kind of holds you down to. And it's a struggle to relax. It's a struggle to switch off. But if you're able to channel that, you'll channel what that authenticity, that truth, that calling, that inner wisdom is trying to say to you, it will keep speaking to you. It will keep coming out and giving you those little nudges, those little insights into where you can pull back. So I hope today has been helpful. Don't forget that if you are enjoying these More Yourself episodes, I have this community, More Yourself, that I am building, and it should be live by the time this goes out, that there is a space here for you. It's a community of like-minded women who are only understanding themselves now, late in life, whether you are newly diagnosed, you're just figuring this out, or you've been diagnosed for a while, but you are now ready to start bringing all this into practice and being part of a community. And I'm going to be showing up with different workshops. I'm going to be bringing guests in. I'm going to be providing you with lots of my on-demand workshops that you may have missed. It's all going to be part of your monthly or yearly price. I'd highly recommend just doing the yearly price, because then it's done, it's dusted, and you don't have to worry about it. And you can just show up as you want throughout the year, take what resonates with you. I'm going to be showing it with little voice notes as well. So you can really dip in and out. And something that I've mentioned before is this mentorship that I'm going to be creating. It's a bit of a matchmaking mentorship with all of these amazing people that are going to be part of this community. And I'm so excited about this because I know neurodivergent women have a lot to give and a lot to offer. And I know how much supporting and caring for other people is fundamental to our values. But I also know that we struggle to receive as well. We struggle to be able to get that support. And I want to be able to offer this sort of reciprocation, this reciprocal offering where you can offer to be mentored, but you can also offer to mentor someone in a different area. So maybe you are a whiz at websites or setting up a business or marketing, but you do really struggle with the early stages of parenting. Or perhaps you are retired and you just feel like you've got some wisdom to offer someone who is in their 30s or early 40s, who is really struggling with the overwhelm of life, and you've been there. Or perhaps you've gone through different hormonal shifts and you have some compassion and support to give. This is where I want to bring this community to life. So if you are interested in all of this, I'm in building this right now. We're going to be starting from the very beginning of October, the More Yourself full community, but the doors in September will be open. So, and I will have had a live done. I will have done a workshop, so you can watch that on repeat or on the recording, and that will help you understand what this community is about. But essentially, I'm here, and I'm here to expand, evolve, grow, welcome you all in, share what I am doing, share what I've been learning, share with you my insights that I have learned from all these years over the podcast and coaching and working in this incredible community. And I want to create a revolution, a soft, gentle, compassionate, authentic revolution for women who are only just understanding themselves from this neurodivergent perspective, however you want to call it. And I welcome you all in. So take care for now. All the information is going to be in the show notes, and I will see you for the next episode. Take care.